Okay. So I want you to create two different type of script, right? One is going to download a file from S3 bucket. The other is going to download your web files from GitHub, right? So let's start with the S3 bucket first. First, let me just find, because let me check where I have those web files. Um, I think we can use. I think I can use this. Right, okay. So we'll start with S3 first. Um, so the first thing I'm going to do is um create an S3 bucket and upload the file in it. So I'll create a bucket. The name of this file is textmax. So, say textmax. Let's see, web files. So I'll create the bucket because I asked you to download the file from S3. So I'll create the bucket here. And then I'm going to upload my um, web file into that bucket. So, so let me zip it first. I'm going to zip it here. All right. So, this is the S3 bucket. This is my web file. I'm just going to drag and drop it here to upload it into that bucket. So you can see here, I'm about to upload it into this bucket. I'm going to click upload. So this is pretty much what you did in the first assignment, right? So the web files, the web file is in S3 now. So what I'm asking you to do is install this website on your EC2 instance, right? And instead of manually doing it, I want you to use a script. So this is how you use the script. You would, um, but well, this is how you get the script. Let me just show you the full step. So we'll launch an EC2 instance. Hello, Ayokome. How are you? I just call it Tech Max. Tech Max. Right. Then we'll pick our AMI. I'll just leave all this as default. For a key pair, I'll create a new key pair because it's been a while since I SSH into my EC2 instance. So I'll use a PEM file. I'll create a PEM one. Um, oh, I need to give it a name. Tech. So I'm going to delete it later on. So I just call it that. Create a key pair. All right. For the networking part, I'll leave it in the default VPC. Um, security group, I'm going to uh, allow SSH from my IP. and I'm also going to allow HTTP. So that's just going to create my, will allow me to SSH into it and access my website once I deploy it. So all this is not the script part. This is just you launching your EC2 instance. And
Will you
another,
will you add the script as a user data or something like that?
yes,
Okay.
so when you complete it, you will add the script as a user data here,
Okay.
right? But right now I don't have the script.
Okay.
So I'm showing you how I go about getting the script. So this is the process I use for pretty much anything. This is the process I use for when I'm trying to generate any type of script or do something. If I
Mm-hmm.
haven't done it before, first
Okay.
I do it manually. So that way I understand the steps.
Mm-hmm.
Then I use the steps to create my script. So um so normally if I have the script to complete the assignment, once you have your script, you'll paste it in here. But since we don't have the script yet, so I'm just launching the EC2 instance, and I'm going to um manually install my website on it so that way I can get the script. Um Here on that IAM role, since I'm going to download the file from S3, so I'll just add an S3 role that I already created and launch my instance. So this is just the launching the EC2 instance part. So the next part now is where we get the script. So here I'm going to SSH, going to go to the EC2 instance, and just a sec.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Adding the S3 role, does it automatically create the role, or you need to go IAM and create those roles and attach the
You
policy to it?
yes, you have to go to IAM.
Oh,
You have to go into IAM, create your role, and attach the S3 policy to it. Correct. So I already had the role from when I worked on um, the
the
project
previous ones.
before.
Okay.
So that's why the role is there. Yeah, but still is not. So that part since you already completed the project using the management console, you already understand all these things. So the part of the script. So now that we have this, we're going to um, first let me get that my keeper. I'm just going to move it from here to my home directory. Uh, I'll move it here. All right. Okay. So, um, okay. So now what you are going to do is SSH into your instance, right? So I'm going to use PowerShell, and I believe the command is, now I'm forgetting the command, SSH hyphen I, and the path to my key pair is techmax. So I'm just going to type techmax.pem. Then my EC2 username EC2 hyphen user at the public IP address of my instance. So I'm going to get that public IP, and I'll paste it here. Press enter, type yes, press enter. Right. So now I'm in my EC2 instance. So everything we've done so far up to this point, that you should understand. So
Yeah.
this is the part where you get the script, right? So if I was hosting deploying this website manually, right? I'm going to SSH into my EC2 instance, right? So while you're doing it, this is the exact same step I use. I want you to have your terminal open, and I want you to open Notepad or Visual Studio Code, anyone, and have it to the side. But I'll also show you at the end how you can get a list of the command. So here, I just have Notepad here. Then, once we SSH into our EC2 instance, first thing we can do sudo su to change to root, right? Or we can run every single command as sudo. So I'll just do the sudo su to change to root. Right, so that's the first command I ran. So you take that command, copy it, and
And
paste it
at
here.
least sometimes I do see sudo su then a hyphen. Is that something that, or that like sudo su then space dash? Is that a
Space.
good Linux command? Yeah.
Um, it probably is. I haven't used it before. I've always
Okay.
used this one. So I'll check it once I'm done. I'll let you know whether is good or not. But I mean, if it works, it is I'm sure it is. But I've always just used this one.
Okay.
Because if it's not a valid Linux command, it will probably give you an error, right?
Mm.
So this is the first command to SSH, I mean to change to root. Then once I change to root, I'm going to update my EC2 instance. I think it's yum update -y. So that is the second command I ran. I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it here. So you have to enter it in the order that you are running them.
Mhm.
Then I've updated my EC2 instance. Then the next command is install Apache, right? So the command is and I don't remember all these commands. So it's yum install httpd -y,
Yeah.
right? So you run that one. So it has installed Apache, right? So the last command you ran, if you want to see that command, if you press up arrow key, it would show you that command. So copy it and paste it here. Then once we install Apache, we want to, when you install Apache, it creates the HTML directory for you. You understand that, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now we are going to change our directory into the HTML directory. So it's cd. It is in the var www html. Right. So you can see I've changed my directory to the HTML directory here.
Yeah.
Right. So this is the command I ran. To do that, I'm going to copy this command and paste it here. Then once I'm in the HTML directory, now I want to download the web files from my S3 bucket into this HTML directory. Um, the command I like to use is S3 sync. So let me just look for the command. So let's just default into Grammarly. S3 sync. So AWS S3 sync command. Hmm. Let me see if I can find the documentation. But this is the CLI I want. There's I know AWS has the, let me just, how to copy the file from S3 to EC2. I know AWS has a documentation for it, right? So this is one method you can use. You can use wget, but your bucket has to be public. We're not going to use that one. I know AWS has that documentation because I've referenced it before.
Maybe if you could add using
Okay,
S3 sync. Yeah.
okay, all right. Using S3. Yeah, I just want to find that documentation because it actually has all the different ways uh you can, and I've made videos about it before. Okay. I mean, I can use this one. So this is it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the syntax for the command is AWS S3 sync, right? The object URL and the path on our EC2 we want to copy it to. So I'm just going to copy this here.
Will it add uh will it be able to get access to the S3 bucket directly
Yes,
like that?
yes, because we attached the IAM row that
Okay.
has S3 access to the EC2 instance.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just going to paste that one down here for now, right? So it says this has to be our object URL. So if I go to my S3 bucket, this is the object that I'm trying to, this is the object that I'm trying to download, right? And this is the object URL. You see it here. So we copy it and yeah. Oh no, not object URL. It's the object URI. Sorry. So the object URI is here. So you copy and you paste it here. So anytime you guys are getting command reference, when you see a caret here and a caret here, they are telling you that this is what you need to replace. So when you are replacing it, make sure you replace everything, including the caret. So I'm going to paste it here. Then it is saying the part on your EC2 instance where you want to copy it to. I want to copy it to my HTML directory, right? So here I'm already in my HTML directory. A simple way to to reference to copy it to my HTML directory, since I've already changed my directory into the HTML, right? I can just use a period. So here, replace this with a period. So you can use a period. This means period in like
Current
period when you
directory.
are scripting is, yeah, it means the current directory exactly. Or you can still use your var www.html if you want to. It would still work. But the period, since you are already in that directory, let's say you didn't add this cd to cd, you could have just used this var www.html here to copy it in there. So since I'm already in that directory, this was going to be my command. I'm going to copy it and let me move this here. I'm going to copy it and paste it here. Then press enter. So I've run it. I didn't get any error, right? And I'm already in my HTML directory, so I'm going to ls just to see if the file is there. It is not there. Let me see. I don't think, did that run? Storage sync. That's why I want to find the documentation because
Is it a hidden file?
no, it's not a
It,
hidden
it
file.
wouldn't be.
It
Okay.
shouldn't be a hidden file. So let me just find that AWS documentation. because I want to make sure I'm using the right command. Uh, um, Copy the file from S3 to EC2. I know the documentation is here. Mm, with this one. And I can also use the copy command, right? So I don't have to, if I don't want to use the S3 sync, but that's the one I always use. And now I'm trying to,
Sorry to interrupt you. I think I was looking at your YouTube channel. I think I saw you using copy command or so. But I
mhm,
know you said you don't want to use it, but I was just trying to
yeah,
see how I can be of help to see if I can just lay my hands on that video and quickly I can just share the information that you are looking for. But
yeah,
I didn't say,
thank you. I thought
oh,
I linked the, for this one I have the wget. So I used the wget one here. So let me look for that. I think I saw that video here. So I can use it. Why can't I find that documentation? I know it's always here. The files. Uh, Let me try and move file, the file from S3 to EC2. Mhm. Let me try this one. Okay. I just want to see if I can, I think if I can find that documentation, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Uh, I think this one is the same way too. Oh man, it's okay.
sorry, if you are using Wiget, I thought you said this particular S3 is in private or what?
Yeah, so that one, yeah, that one is using wget. We don't want to use that. So if you use that, you have to make the bucket public.
Okay, okay.
Copy file. I think I can just by use the copy command. It won't hurt anything to use the copy command. But I like to use the S3 sync because uh S3. I like to use the S3 sync because it would pretty much automatically, if you have multiple things in your S3 bucket, it would let me just try documentation. Maybe that will bring it.
If that is taking forever, could we consult any of these AIs?
Yeah, that would be the next thing. I just want to make sure that my last
But
command.
sometimes looking for the stuff in AWS documentation too can be so.
Yeah, let me just ask Claude. But I was just showing the documentation part because that those part are also very important in like also knowing where the command is coming from. What is uh, command command to to move uh, from S to
You have the move
C2.
wrong.
Oh, sorry. Thanks. C2. All right. So yeah, my command is right. Um, S3 source part, right? So here is given yeah, so that last command might be wrong. So here it just says my bucket. Exactly. I don't think it needs the name. So it needs to be, it wouldn't be this. It just needs to be, uh, let me go to property. Right. So according to this command, S3 sync, it will just be your bucket name. So
Mm.
S3 sync my bucket. Okay. So let me try that. For example, to sync all files from a bucket called my bucket to your EC2 instance, its current directory. See, so that was what that. So that command in Google was wrong, right? So this one just needs to be this, right? So it is AWS S3 sync S3 and my bucket. So that's what it needs to be. So I'm going to copy this and I'm going to run it here. Press enter. That it worked that time. So I'm going to clear my screen and let's press enter here. And I'm going to ls. So you can see the zip file in there. So this command works. So you just move it up here. So that's the next command. So now you've downloaded the file. You need to zip it. You need to unzip it. So the command is unzip, the name of the file you want to unzip. So it is unzip this file you downloaded. So once you download the file, ls to see what is in there, and whatever name of the file you see, that's what you need to unzip. So that's this unzip command. I'm going to run that. It has unzip it. So now I'm going to type ls again. So you can see now I have two versions of the file.
Mm.
This one, the zip file I downloaded and the one I unzipped, right? So the command I ran is unzip that. So it'll be unzip and the name of the file. So this is why I said your command may be different from mine, because if you are working on a different application, it's based on whatever name you use to upload the file into your S3 bucket. So this name can be anything. So that's why it is important to ls to make sure you see what is there, right?
The name.
So,
Okay.
so in my case, this is the name. So I'm just going to back max. That's it. Then once I do that, um, so in order for my website to work, I need to move. So the files are unzip, like if I cd into it. So I'm going to cd into, right? I'm going to cd into the tech marks, right? I'm changing my directory into this one, right? I'm now in that directory here, you can see. And if I ls, you can see my web files are in there. So I want to copy all my web files. In order for my website to work, I have to copy all the files out of this folder into the HTML directory. So let me just get that command. So when it comes to command, for you guys, I don't memorize any command. So sometimes I have notes of commands that I've run before, or I use documentations or ask ChatGPT. Any of those will work. So when it comes to like Linux command, you don't have to try to memorize them. So I know I have a command here that I've copied. Um, where is it? Um, right here. So let's copy this one. So the command is here. So the command is, I'm in this tech max, so I'm just going to type tech max there. So what this command is saying is that I'm going to copy. So you can add the sudo there or you can remove it. Since I'm already in root, I'm going to remove it. So the command is going to copy everything. This R allows you to copy everything out of this TechMax folder into the HTML. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to. So I was just in this directory just to show you I can see the back. So since I'm in the HTML directory, and I can also do it instead of doing HTML there, I can do a period there. So let me copy this and paste it here. Press enter. Now if I ls, you can see all my files are there. Are you following me so far?
Yes, I'm following.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
So that is the next command I ran. So I'm just going to leave that there. Then I'm going to, so now that I've copied everything into the HTML directory, another thing I always do is I always clean up. So you can see in my HTML directory, I still have the zip file and the TechMax. I don't need those. Once I've moved all my files into the HTML directory, I don't need it. So I can just remove them. The command is rm-rf. Then the name of the files you want to remove. The first name is TechMax. So I'm just going to copy TechMax here. Paste it here. And the second file is TechMax zip. Copy and paste it here. Right. So I'm going to run this command. Now I'm going to clear my screen. And if I ls, so you can see in my HTML directory, I have the web files and I've removed the files I downloaded and the one I unzipped. So at this point, I'm pretty much done. The only other thing is I need to restart my Apache server. So I'm going to, and I always forget that. So there's like two of them. I always forget those commands. So
You are enable and start,
HTTPD,
right?
yeah, they want to enable it and they want to restart. So I only have the restart here. So we can use the service. Right?
MCTL enable HTTPD.
Okay. So the first one is what? So we
Sys-
can.
It could be start, it could
First,
be enable. Systemctl start HTTPD.
I think
So
watching
the
your
service
videos, I see we first
service
enable, then
service
start.
HTTPD HTTP.
Systemctl.
So I'm using service. You can use service too.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. So if you use this, it's going to be the same thing. So there is enable, right? Enable.
Mm.
I think you can use service too. So let me try it. So I'm going to. This is not really important. Well, it's important if you're going to continuously use the server, but since it's just a one, you installing for just one time and destroying it, we don't really need to. Yeah, that's not the command. But I know you can use service too. So, but let me. It says system.
CTL.
Will it not be service that HTTPD?
Need to add
That
it
is the HTTPD
CTL.
will come after restarts.
You can enable it first. It doesn't matter in which order you run it.
Mm.
So I think the command I'm running is just not. That's not the. Let me just extend service. Service. Command to restart to enable and start Apache. Yeah. So systemctl enable HTTPD and systemctl start. I know the service works too, and I'm pretty they said the service is actually much better than the systemctl, but I've always used the service. But let's just use this one, HTTPD and start HTTPD. Okay, so I'm just going to run these two commands together. All right,
Yes, good
so
morning.
good morning, good morning.
Yeah, sorry I'm interrupting. I just have like less than 8 minutes before I join. I go somewhere, but I just need your opinion on something quickly.
Okay.
Yeah, so what's your thought on having like a CKA certification? I know you're very heavy on hands-on, of course. I'm very in line with that as well. But with what you've seen in the market, do you think CKA certification and the likes, especially Kubernetes, do they matter anymore, or what do you think about that?
I think you should, if you want to get it, you should get it. I think it will help, since Kubernetes is very attractive, right? And having a Kubernetes certification is good. I mean, at least it proves that you have some type of knowledge in it. So, um, I mean, you can get it, but but the main thing is just don't get it and be done there. You still have to like just be able to back up that knowledge with hands-on experience. You understand? But I don't think it will. Honestly, if I was getting certification, let's say I was getting certification now to have a complete certification, I will have maybe like the Terraform certification, the Kubernetes certification, and the DevOps professional, and that will be it.
Yeah.
So I think it's good. I think it's a good certification on your resume, honestly.
Yeah, thank you. And I think one last question. When would the Terraform, I know you've worked on the Terraform piece of the EKS project you did. Do you think it will be ready anytime soon?
Yeah, it's ready. I just haven't uploaded yet, but I can send it to you if you want. So and maybe at the end I also have another idea of something I want to start doing, and I'll just run it by you guys just to see. But it's ready. I mean, I can send you a copy of it once I'm done.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll reach out to you privately. Yeah, sorry guys for interrupting. I'm just in a hurry to leave. Well, thank you so much.
All right, no problem.
Bye.
All right, Sean, do you have to leave too, or can your question wait?
No, I can wait. I can wait.
All right. Or is it a quick one? If it's a quick question, I
Quick,
can answer it.
It's a quick. I remember you said you're gonna be sending that code. I need it too.
Okay, all right. Yeah, please just remind me. Sometimes I do forget. Remind me, I'll send to you. But I'll do it after class once I'm done. But in case if you guys don't hear from me, just remind me, send me a reminder and I'll send it to you.
Okay, cool.
All right. Okay. So we've restart the server, right? So that's all we need to do. So now if I go in the management console, refresh here and copy my public IP address and paste it here, press enter. So my stuff is defaulting to HTTPS. That's why. So let me remove that S there and press enter. So that's something you have to. That's probably just probably how my Google Chrome is set up, right? So if you paste your IP address and just pay attention to it, because the way we deployed it now, we didn't set up any HTTPS. It's just HTTP. So, and that's all you need to do for this project. You don't need to set up the HTTPS part. So
So from here, I can, if like I want to, it's like an actual project, I will just go to Route 53 and
yeah, if
do
it's
the
yeah, exactly.
configuration.
If it's an actual project, if it's an actual project, your your server will be in the private subnet. You will need an application load balancer,
Yeah.
and then you will now connect the DNS of your load balancer in Route 53. Yeah. But for this assignment, I only want you to stop here. So the main part is use a script to deploy this app, right? So
Okay.
in the course of the steps we took to deploy this application, right? These are the commands we ran. So as I was running them, I was making those commands here one at a time, right? So I think is let me see. Is it list? If I just type list. What I know there's something before the list. Does anyone know?
What do you want to do?
I want to list pretty much all the commands I ran. Linux command.
Is that not supposed to be history? I don't know.
Yeah, or something like
Yeah,
that.
history.
Let me try.
It-
It should be
history.
history.
History. Okay, cool.
Right.
Thank you. History. Perfect. Right. Just in case if you didn't copy paste your commands here as you were running it, right? If you type history, right, it shows you all the commands you've run. So you will just have to copy it, right? Copy them, then remove the ones that are not really applicable. But it is better once you run a command and that command works, just copy it immediately and add it to your notes, right? So now that I've created my command, there's one last thing we need to do. So this, and let me just copy this now. Let me show you. So these are the commands that I use to install my website. This is the script. So the only thing to run this as a script is you have to add a shebang, and it is this thing you are seeing here. So for every script, you need to have this at the top of it. So this is just telling the EC2 in the EC2 in the runtime environment that for these commands that I have here, I want you to use bash to execute them because we are using Linux. So bash is typically what we will use. So that's what this is saying. And you have to have this at the top of your command. So when you paste this in your user data, it is just going to run all these commands for you. So this is the script I'm asking you to create, right? So now if I go to the management console, let me terminate this EC2 instance. All right. Then I'm going to launch another EC2 instance. I'll call it TechMax 2. It's going to be Amazon Linux 2023. This time I'm not even going to add a key pair to it but let me add a key pair just in case if there's an issue. But I don't anticipate there being any issue. So it's going to go in my default VPC. I'm going to allow SSH from my IP and allow HTTP, not HTTPS. Then I'm going to, under advanced details, I'm going to add my IAM role for S3 and the script that I created. So this is how you test your script before you confirm to me that this is how you test your script to confirm to me that it is working. Once you test your script and it works, then you've completed the assignment. So I'm going to copy that script and paste it here. Then I'm going to launch my EC2 instance. So if everything works, right? By the time this EC2, the instance state is running, we should be able to see our website. So do give it some time. So typically I always wait till the status check is complete. So once you see that your status check is complete, check it. But because you have to understand when you paste the script in it, sometimes this is a simple script. Some script might take longer to run, right? So, so just give it time. Usually I always wait till the status check change.
So are you able to show the S3 role? What policy you attach to the role? Or you
Oh,
just S3 bucket?
just do yeah, I can show you.
I was even about to ask, but I was just waiting for him to
All right.
share that.
Yeah,
It looks like you've already configured that policy already. So,
Yeah. So it's just I think I just do S3 full access.
full access. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
S3 role. Yeah. So for anything I'm trying to do that is I'm giving a role something, I always just do full access. So this is the role I'm using, right? So if I go in that role, it's S3 full access.
Mm.
So that's the policy you can attach to
Okay.
it. So, right. So this is still initializing, but we can probably test it now because sometimes that initialization takes time. So I'm just going to copy my IPv4 address and I'm going to paste it here. Press enter. So this is my browser just default into HTTPS. So I'm just going to remove that S. And you can see it is working. So this is the assignment. Do you understand now?
Yeah,
Okay.
very
Good.
clear. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So I want you to do it in two ways, right? The first one is the S3 one, where you are downloading the files from S3. So that's the one I just showed you here. But the second way, you have to download it from your GitHub account. You understand?
Yeah.
So it still is the same exact process. But I'll just give you a hint. It's the same exact process. The only difference is where you will be downloading the files from, right?
Mm.
So here, at this point, we are downloading it from S3, but here it will be the command to download it from GitHub, right? So, and I also give you a hint for your GitHub repository, make sure your repository is public.
Yeah.
So make a public repository, upload your web file into that repository. Then to download it, just use wget.
Mm.
So use wget. So once you download it, right, everything else after that will be based on when you download it, what naming convention the file comes in, right? The file might say main.zip, right? So once you download it, ls to see if the file is there. Then once you see the file name, that will let you know what you need to unzip. Then from there, you just pretty much kind of like follow the same process. Ultimately, you want to make sure that whatever the web file is, right? So you see this checkmarks file that ultimately these web files in the order that it was presented, that is what you want to see in your HTML directory, not the checkmarks folder and not the zip file, but all the files in the order that it was given to you.
Mm.
So you can't miss any. So let's say I upload all this and I'm missing the asset, it is not going to work. So
Yeah.
you want to verify that all these files that you are seeing are in your HTML directory.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the assignment. All right.
Hello, Aziz. I was previously joined on YouTube. I didn't even know that there's a Zoom meeting for weekend catch up. I didn't realize.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yes, there is that yeah, there is we always meet on every weekend. Sorry. So
So it's fine.
how did you find out?
Well, I've set up my notification for your account on YouTube. So I noticed that oh there's a live um class going on. Well, I noticed
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't talk. I was just typing, and I noticed that other people were talking. I'm like, is there a function on YouTube so you can like get on the mic?
Oh,
And I
oh yeah.
realized that, and I went to the Slack. I went to the Canvas, and I noticed, oh, there's a Zoom meeting link. there. So I just
Oh,
joined.
I see. I see. Yeah, I just checked now. I just saw your comment. Oh, thanks for providing the command. Yeah.
No problem at all.
Yeah. So I wasn't looking at the YouTube comments. So
Yeah.
the yeah, so that's the
Okay, so
thing.
this is sorry, this is
Okay.
also live in YouTube, right?
Yes, it is.
Oh,
So
okay. I
I'd
didn't know.
stream it to YouTube so that way,
Okay.
once the class is done, the video will be automatically in the playlist, and you guys can watch the playback for those that
Okay.
wants to watch it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So what was I gonna say? I forgot. So yeah, so what I was gonna say is for the commands, I'll be honest, I don't try to memorize any commands, right? And if I run a command very frequent, I'll remember. But like this, deploying this HTML website, it's been so long since I did it. Which is why I'm always preaching. What you guys need to understand is the steps, the concept. That's what you always have to remember. As long as you know the concept, you always understand how to get the command. Getting the command is the easiest part, right? So today, now that I want to demonstrate how to deploy this, I didn't remember like some of the commands, which is fine, right? But I understand the concept of what I need to do to create my script. Launching my EC2 instance, open the port on the security group, adding an IAM role to my EC2 instance, how to SSH into my EC2 instance, then getting the command once you know what you are trying to do. For example, we are trying to enable HTTPD on Apache and trying to restart Apache. That is the concept. Once you know that, you can Google the command, it'll come up. Or we are trying to download a file from S3 using S3 sync. I don't remember the command, but I understand that that's what I'm trying to do. So finding the command is easy. So, which is why I said when you guys are completing the assignment, it is the concept. What are you doing and why are you doing it? That is more important than trying to um, trying to memorize the steps. You understand? So uh, that's what I would have to say. But when it comes to the command, don't beat yourself up about it. Don't feel like you have to memorize every command. No. All right.
Hello, Aziz. How
Hello.
are you doing?
I'm good. You?
Yeah, I'm also good. So I was working on that Kubernetes project, and I do have a doubt to clarify. So can I share my screen?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right.
Let me stop sharing.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. So I was at a step where we deploy the uh, YAML files, right? So I have successfully deployed the first two YAML files, but when I trying to deploy this service YAML, like it already got like the service is created, but but I in my management console, like this load balancer and target groups are not getting created. So then I asked ChatGPT and like I tried to troubleshoot it. So ChatGPT gave me this command where to check what this Renzon does. And in the events, I can see this there's a warning and it says failed build model due to unable to resolve at least one subnet. I'm not sure. Like I tried to recreate it again, delete and apply the tags and all, but I couldn't able to like resolve it. So, do you have any idea
Okay.
why the network load
Mm.
balancer and that script didn't work
So I
actually?
haven't seen that before. So go into, so what about you? What is in your VPC? So
Yeah,
are you using
Dev VPC. Yeah,
your custom VPC?
yeah,
And
custom VPC. Yeah,
that's public and private subnet.
yeah, yeah. This one.
Right. All right.
And these are the subnets.
Okay. And where is your node?
Yeah. So this is my EKS cluster and this is my node.
All right. So go into your EC2 and see. So over here, just scroll down a little bit. Let me just make sure nothing is fill in here. So everything looks good here, right?
Yeah, and I can see this deployment script
Your
also, like
your deployment is there, perfect.
yeah.
So go into your node, your node, I mean your EC2. All right, let's see that. What subnet is it in? Go click on the networking part. Private app subnet EC2. Perfect. All right. Let me just review your thing with my. So okay, leave it here. Just a second. Let me open my file and I can check. Um, next. Service file. So it's v1 service metadata range zone namespace. All right. So namespace MBL first. True. Load balancer. Deployment label app. So what is in your click on your deployment file.
Yeah.
And your label is also range zone.
Range
Okay.
zone, yeah.
All right. Click on your service file again, please. And your line 5 namespace, right?
Yeah.
Click on your deployment file. Your namespace is also range zone, right? Okay. So when you created, go to for your worker node, right? In your AKS cluster, your worker node. Did you let's check the security group. Did you update the security group?
Yeah.
So go to the EC2 console. Check it from the EC2 so that way you know the right one. So go to your EC2, the EC2 where your worker node is, and select that EC2. Then under networking, you'll see the security group. All right, scroll up. So where's your security group?
Go to security.
Yeah, security. Sorry, I said that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a security group.
All right.
EKS cluster.
All
Yeah.
right. Click it. All right. So I'm pretty sure we have an additional just a second. I'm pretty sure I asked you to you have to also update. Hold on, let me check my security group.
I noticed he have um I think he have an endpoint. I would check his endpoint too, because his endpoint got to be on the outbound room as well. Because he have ECI, I think ECIC for the endpoint in
Yeah.
the security group.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
So the security group would created like when we create the cluster itself, right?
Yeah, so this security group gets created, right? So did you add this security group to your to your your database?
Base. Yeah.
So go
Yeah,
to your
yeah,
data.
yeah. I did that change.
Okay.
So in that I added that cluster as well.
Okay, perfect. So I'm just trying to eliminate where the issue may be coming from. So and you are sure that
Because in
your VPC
here
is
like it says it's service got created.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that apply command got executed perfectly, but like the pro issue is like the target group and load balancer. I try to refresh couple of times, but it's not
Yeah,
getting created. Like
it's
the
not
network
showing
load
it.
balancer.
Yeah, there's still an issue
That's
somewhere.
the
So go can you show me that error again?
yeah. So
Scroll down to that one where you can you copy that and send it to me? I'll just ask Claude.
yeah. Um,
Or it could also be that maybe your role does not have the right permission to, because I think that may
uh,
be the issue. Your
but
Kubernetes service role.
yeah, but
So go to your Kubernetes cluster itself and
this is the cluster role, and
is that the one you are using?
yeah,
That's the one. Okay. Um,
this is the role for the cluster.
all right. So expand it. Scroll down. Um, no, scroll up a little bit. Let me see. Uh, wait. So elastic load balancing, create listener, create load balancer. Uh, yeah, it seems to
Yeah.
have it. Scroll. Okay. All right. Send that error to me. Let me check it real quick.
Can I put it in Slack or
No, you can put it anywhere. If you copy it here, I'll copy it from there.
wait, let me. I have put that in a chat.
Okay. That's a second. Good. And this and after after applying service in gears and my service file is let me just type this first. The one indicates that your service is failing due to its merger because it can't find subnet that matches the required tags. Specifically, the error shows that the service is looking for subnet tag. So why is your sorry. Can you go into that your service file again?
Mhm.
So where is it getting the Kubernetes IO? Couldn't find it. This typically happens when you are trying to create an internal load balancer in EKS, but the subnets in your VPC don't have the correct tagging that the load balancer controller requires. Hmm.
But it's a type of warning, even though it's not.
Okay, run that service file again. Run that. Delete the service file and run it again. So do you want the command to delete it?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me find it for you. So the command will be this. Let me send it to you on Slack. So, but when you copy that command and paste it in like a notepad, you have to update your service name and your namespace.
So service name would be this service file name, right?
Yeah, it will be service. No, that your service name will be whatever you named it in your YAML file. So the
Yeah.
paste your command. So go in your YAML file, in your service YAML file. The name will be whatever you called it there on that name.
Yeah.
So
Renzo.
no, remove everything the env too. Right, remove the env. It should be service rent zone. All right, and the namespace will be the same. All right, run that command. No, you have it. You already have something there before. In the beginning, look at the beginning of your command.
Yeah, it deleted. Now I will recreate it again.
All right. So before you run it, let's also check your service. Your what is that other thing? It's in CloudFormation. Why am I forgetting now? It's your I don't know why I can't remember it, but go in CloudFormation. I know what I'm trying to say, but I can't remember the name. Yeah,
Yeah, you
this
mean the
one.
cloud formation stack?
The
Yeah.
the service account. Yeah. All right. Created a service account. Okay, that is completed. All right. All right. Now run it again. Let's see.
Yeah, now it says created. So
I mean, it should show there immediately. Right. So can we check your VPC configuration? Right. Okay. So select the public subnet. Select the first route table. The first route table.
this one.
No, the first one. The one at the top. You can see that one is not connected to anything.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it does make sense because that's your default route table.
Mm.
All right. So select your public route table. Okay. It's connected to your internet gateway. All right, then your private one. All right. So let's review those route table. And let's review your public one. Select your public one. It's routing traffic through the internet gateway. Local. Well, that looks right. And what about the other one?
Private.
Routing traffic through the NAT gateway. Hmm. I know it works, so let's there's something that's missing somewhere that's making your service not deploy. They're saying it can't find your subnet. So and click on the subnet. The subnet. Where is that block? Public thing off. All right, let's review your cluster. Your cluster endpoint, did you enable those things on your cluster?
Yeah. So yeah, the subnets attached. I attached this private app subnet 1 and 2. Yeah.
Okay, so select which one is those ones. Select that one. App subnet. Okay. All right.
And the other one is app subnet 1, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. Go back to your cluster lesson. Maybe there's something else. VPC. Security group. You have your, and under that manage endpoint access. Click manage endpoint access. Let me see. Public and advanced. So that's your IP address, right? It's still
Yeah.
okay.
So I double checked it. Let me double check it. Sorry. Let's see. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. So let's test something. We might have to just delete your cluster and redeploy it. But I want to. Have you worked on Terraform before on your computer?
No, this is the first time I'm
You
working
have.
on Kubernetes. Yeah.
Okay.
So one more thing, like when I was working,
So when you ran all the other commands, nothing
Mhm.
failed, right? All the other commands you ran.
Yeah. So the first time when I was working on it, like I had an issue with the namespace creation. So it got me this issue, like unable to connect to the server. And you told me to add that
Mm-hmm.
uh, local machine IP to the networking section.
Mm-hmm.
I did, and it worked. After that, when I was trying to install this CSA secrets too, I got this error. Then I deleted my cluster and recreated again. The only change I did was like before I have created the cluster with that 2023 Linux, but after when I checked the video, you were doing it with the AMI Linux x64 version. So I did create it with that version, and that also got fixed. Those are the two things I figured. And
Because
other commands,
yeah, I think something didn't work properly when you were running those commands because it works, right? So I'll say let's delete your cluster, right? And we'll just start all over again from that creating the cluster part. Then so you have to go and delete the nodes first.
so this is the last video of that project. So I got stuck doing it.
Yeah. When you are running type when you are running those commands, yeah, if something fails, it always, that's the painful thing about Kubernetes.
Mhm.
Those commands, they have to run successfully, because since your subnets are there, it should be able to pick it up and deploy it in. But I think something failed when you were running the.
Can you find out
So
what was?
node, so you see your node over there. Delete the node. Node.
Mhm.
Scroll down. Um, no, it's on the previous
This
page.
one, right?
Yeah.
It's getting
You
deleted.
already
Yeah.
is getting the okay. All right. We'll wait a little bit.
Because when I'm creating the EKS cluster, that pages were a bit different than that you showed in the videos as well. Like they have updated or something. So,
What'd you say?
so when I was creating a new EKS cluster,
Mm-hmm.
the steps that you carried out in the video was a bit different. Like the tabs and all, it were like kind of different in my version. So
Yeah. No, what you did is fine. So I think the main issue is when you were running the command, something failed. And
so
that's
is there
why.
any issue with like if we create using the different Linux version, the EC2 instance? So will it be an issue
Use
because
Yes, use the 2023. That's the one you should be
no,
using.
that was the one I used before, and I got that issue, this issue with that version, like this timeout issue. After that, I recreated the cluster, and in the video, you were using that Amazon X64 version, and after that, it worked fine.
Yeah,
So
Yeah.
so that was probably relating to um the previous issue you had, right? It just when you made the change and you ran the command right after that, it probably didn't pick it up yet. So I think when you deleted it and recreated, by that time it picked it up. So you can use the 2023. I think it should work the same way. So delete your cluster and we'll just recreate it. Then we'll run the commands again and we'll
yeah.
see.
See what I think his issue is. His issue is the the subnets and what security group did he use? Because I said this last time. They changed everything from the video. If he had, like you said, if he having a timeout issue, and you said it usually be the VPC or the security groups, but I don't know what subnet he put this in.
So, Matt, click delete cluster and type the name. Delete.
It's still getting deleted. The node group is still getting deleting. So.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. It takes time to.
So does this kind of
Check.
issues usually happens like when we are working on Kubernetes and all?
Yeah, I get it. When I was working on it, too, I was having a different type of errors. And it's usually when my commands don't run successfully. Like if you are missing the namespace, it's just something is off, it wouldn't work, right? But I haven't seen this one for the subnet before. This is the first time I'm seeing that one. Eddie, you can contact me. Let me type my thing here. Shale, yes, we checked it through his VPC configuration. It seems like his route table was as properly associated with the subnets. Because when you go to that VPC and it has that the map thing that shows you, that's like the fastest way to check it. So it's showing the connections between the subnets and the route table. So we check that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so right here, right. See, if you click on that private route table, right? So you see how he's highlighting the private route table and it's showing that it is connected to the private subnets. So, and it is also connected to the NAT gateway. So that's the fastest way to check it. And that's showing that it is configured correctly. Okay.
So what you are saying is it's related to the
I think it's
EKS?
related to the when you were running your EKS commands. Yeah. So when you run those commands, you have to make sure that every command runs successfully. You can't have a fail in any of the commands because it would cause an issue somewhere down the line. So I think that's where the issue is coming from. Because I can run the EKS project. I can run the EKS project now on my computer and run the same commands, and I'll show you that it works. And it seems like everything is working fine. Your nodes deployed successfully. But there's just a reason why it is not picking up your subnet. So that's why just to test it, we have to just try to do it again.
So I have one more doubt. Like, so for the first time when I was creating the namespace, like I got this issue right, and someone said me in the chat like I got this unauthorized. You must be logged into the server or something. Then one person told me to log in with the AWS root use account and create the access pair, and I configured using the root account credentials, and that error went away. So do you know why that happened? Like, so do we need to create the access pair in AWS configure using the root access
access
to
pair,
create the namespace?
right? So you just need to configure your access key and secret access key, right? So
yeah, first I created using my IAM user and it didn't work. Then I logged into my root user account and recreated an access key and configured using that. Then I was able to like pass through this error, like this error.
yeah, so the steps that I listed to run the commands, that's what you have to follow, right? So the first thing is you need to configure your access key and secret access key. That's all you need to do. You need to type AWS configure, then enter your access key and enter your secret access key, right? Then that's how you need to configure your IAM. This error could also be coming from the fact that your EKS CLI is not connected to your EKS cluster. right? So that's why when we are running the command, the first thing we do is make sure we update our kubeconfig file to connect our current EKS session with our EKS cluster. So this error could have come from that too, right?
Okay.
So I'm pretty sure that your service not connecting is coming from when you were running the command. There's probably an error somewhere in those deployment command before you got to the service. So that's why I want us to redo it. And when we run so that's the thing for anyone else, when you guys are running your EKS command, which is why I said run it one at a time. Nothing can fail. So if something fails, you have to address that stuff first before you move on to the subsequent command, or else you're going to run into other errors. All right. So let me see if I still have this EKS project somewhere on my computer here. I'll dynamic EKS.
So I have deleted that. So this is the screen I'm getting when I'm creating the EKS
Okay.
cluster. It's
All
a
right.
bit different than in the video. So what I followed is I click the custom configuration, and for this I will give that
ISO cluster. Okay.
yeah, and for the IAM role I will choose the.
So click create the recommended role. Let's see. I just want to see what is there. So it will be yeah, so EKS cluster, right? So it's there auto. It's already on the cluster for you. So scroll down. It's already picking the cluster for you. So click next. So auto allows allows access to other AWS services resource that are required to operate auto mode. So that's because you have that auto mode enabled, right? So if you go back to your cluster creation. Is the that tab, yeah. The first tab.
Yeah.
Right. So scroll up. So here you have this auto mode. You see that auto mode down there. The next one. Not that one, the next one. No. Select custom. The next one. Yeah, that one. Right. So that is a new feature AWS just added. So EKS uncheck that one. Let's see.
Yeah.
Right. Then okay, now create the recommended role.
Now it's cluster, yeah.
Yeah, right. So click next. So I just want to see the policy. So click the plus on that policy. Listen. So it's probably the same one as the one you have, but
Yeah.
let's just use this one. Click next. And give it a name. Row. No, call it row, not policy. Row. If you already have the name, it will probably fail. Just add like a row 2 or something.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now, all right. Now go back to the other tab. And yeah, select that row.
Yeah.
All right. So continue with the settings.
Yeah, I have to copy that.
All right, hold on. Go back. Let me just review it. Scroll up. So under networking, you select your VPC, you select your private app subnet. Security group, right? We didn't add a security group because the cluster is going to create
Yeah.
one, right? IPv4, configure Kubernetes service IP address, specify the range. No, we didn't do that. Remote network hybrid, no. Then here we select public and private. Okay, cool. All right, scroll down. And next.
And we selected all these two cloud watchlogs.
Yeah.
In here, so it auto selected these things for me, but in the video, like we were not using this node monitoring agent. We were using kubeproxy, this one for DNS, and
It's
this.
fine. It's fine. Whatever I select for you, that's fine. So just go scroll down. And next.
And these are the versions I selected, the newest version in all of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
So these are the versions.
Mm-hmm. And create.
So I'm not sure why these two files got deployed correctly and this one is failing. So,
What about the commands at the top? The yeah, those ones. So we
yeah,
have
these
to
ones work
those
fine.
all of those were fine.
Yeah.
You didn't get any error with those ones.
Yeah, later for the first time when I executed, I got the error. Then I told you like I deleted the cluster and recreated, and this error got fixed, and all these things worked fine.
Okay.
And it also like it didn't give me an error. It also executed, but I'm not sure like why it didn't do it.
All right, scroll up somewhere. I say something on that namespace. Scroll up. Keep scrolling up. Keep scrolling up. Let's stop right there. Oh, okay, so that's just verifying your namespace. Right. All right, let's just run it again and we'll see where the error is coming from.
So shall I execute from the top or?
No, you haven't created your node, your worker node.
Yeah.
You have to wait for your cluster to also be done.
And one more doubt is like, so for first time, like I noticed like, does this local machine IP will getting changed in the machine? Like, so in this IP, so for the first time I created, it was fetched by the EKS cluster correctly, but I don't know why like this one got changed later when I was checking, and that's when you said to update the correct IP in the EKS cluster configuration. So will this happen like will this machine IP get changed by any reason?
Yeah, that's your IP address. Your internet IP address does change.
Does change. So we have to update it.
Yeah, you have to check
frequently.
it because sometimes if you move from one location to another, yes, your IP will change, right? Or sometimes it does change. So your IP address for your Wi-Fi or whatever you are using is not always static. Sometimes it changes. So yeah, so it's not the EKS that's doing that. It's just your IP as itself that you are using to connect.
All right. Okay. And from this doubt, what you were mentioning was like the answer for this was like we don't need to do it like this way then. Like we don't need to log in through the root user and create our access P and configure the CLI part.
Oh, yeah.
Because
So you don't have to log in as root. If you log in as a regular IAM user, you can create the CLI access key and secret access key, right?
yeah,
So you don't have to
I
use
tried.
root.
Oh, all right. So first I tried using the IAM user and I think this thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I got this the when I creating the namespace. This is there. I got then in the comment someone mentioned me to create an access pair using login through the root user, and it was creating fine. So that's what I'm wondering. Why
So
is it so
so
like that?
so that's what I'm saying. That has to do with your updating your kube config file. It has nothing to do with your CLI, right?
All right.
I mean, it could be your CLI, but
Mm.
if you have an IAM user, right?
Okay.
Let's say you create an IAM user
Mm.
and that IAM user has a administrator access. The same
Yeah.
the same CLI that IAM user can create is the same one you will create with root.
Root, yeah. Even though I had that administrate access for my IAM, it didn't allow me. I got that link. So
that's what I'm saying. The error is not if you can run your command and it is working, it is not it once you get the when you create an access key in your AWS account, whether you are using a root account or an IAM user, access key is an access key.
yeah.
So the issue may have come from how you configure that access key on your computer the first time.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
understand? So
Yeah. So
you guys have to, one thing that I always you guys have to understand is you can get around this because it's something you need to understand very well. You guys need to understand how to set up your CLI on your computer, because since you are going to be deploying stuff in AWS all the time, and it's not going to be through the management console, it will be through either running CLI command or through Terraform, right? So understanding how to configure your access key and secret access key is very important, right? So I've showed you guys that once you have an IAM user that has access key and secret access key, there are two ways you can configure it on your computer. There's one that is called a default profile, right? So that means if you just type AWS configure and you enter your access key and secret access key. So that default profile means anytime you run AWS CLI command, it would always use that profile. But if you want to use a specific profile, that's when you run AWS configure -- profile and specify the name of the profile. So Matt, what I'm saying is once you have an access key, it doesn't matter whether it was a root account that created it or an IAM user. You will run AWS configure on your command, you will run AWS configure on your computer and enter your access key and secret access key.
yeah.
So that is how you set up AWS CLI on your command. That's how you set up AWS CLI on your computer so that any CLI command you run works.
All right.
Do you guys understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that error is something to do with the Kubernetes, I guess, like the configuration or something, I guess.
Yes. So
I definitely understand what you're saying, because this is what I struggled with when I first came into it. And we went through a whole session on how to figure CLI access keys and where to put them at.
yes,
You remember that? You remember
yeah,
that?
yes, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no excuse around that, and there is no being lazy around that. You guys have to understand how to configure your your IAM your CLI on your computer. It is like the 101 of cloud. You just have to understand it. So what I'm saying is anytime you guys want to run a CLI command and you are getting an error, right? Check your you have to check the home directory on your computer and see how you've configured your IAM. That's the first thing, right? So
The cluster is getting created, it's active, but it's saying something. Cluster must be in active state for successful connection.
just refresh. It's probably still error.
But here it says active. Right?
Yeah. Unable to communicate with you. I mean, it's probably because we try to create your node. I mean, please try again in a few minutes. So
here, this is what I was saying. Like when I was initially, I am using this Linux. It's the standard one, but in the video you were using this one, I guess.
no, use the 2023 one.
23. Okay.
Yeah. So that's picking up your private laptop, not good. And create.
Yeah, now it's active, I guess. So after it's getting created, I need to run from this point onwards, right? Like from this, I have to again redeploy these 3 files, right?
No, you have to start all the way at the top. So first, you need to go in the CloudFormation and delete that service account role. Yeah, it's deleting it. So go into your files, your deployment files, and just make sure those. So let me see your deployment YAML, right? Deployment.yaml. Okay. All right. So all those looks fine. All right. So let's wait for the node to be created and make sure there's no error there. Then we'll run the command again from the top. So don't run the command now. So make sure your cluster, make sure your cluster and everything is good.
Yeah. So I was deleting like since it was running and the resources will get charged, right? So I was deleting the NAT gateway and stopping the RDS instance and deleting the CKS cluster for a couple of times, and I recreated again. So to save some cost. So
Yeah. So go check the EKS console. Let's see whether the node and your cluster is good.
yeah, it's created. Yeah, now it's great.
All right, select it. And make sure there's no error. Okay. All right. What about your cluster?
Yeah, there's no error.
All right, cool. All right. So go to your command, right? So let's start all the way at the top. Is that your cluster's name? So line 2. What's your cluster name?
Renson cluster, yeah.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Hold on. So you created the namespace range zone created. All right, go ahead. All right, hold on. So that's how I'm saying you're kind of moving a little bit too fast. Set the namespace to all this, so context, range zone cluster. All right, go ahead. Namespace range zone. All right, cool.
Oh, I need to update the CSA driver node, right?
Yeah, so run that.
It's already exists, so
Okay, well, that's fine.
yeah.
All right, wait, hold on, let me. All right, so what's the next command?
Verify this. Verify whether the it has been started or not. Secret CSA driver.
Hold on. So is that why? Okay. So that was the command I gave you, right? You didn't change that one, right?
No.
Okay.
It's running.
All right, cool.
So
Hold on, did you run that last one? Service
yeah.
created? Okay, all right, cool. Hold on. Before you run it, so you're creating the service account namespace, range zone cluster, and you're creating the policy, range zone policy. Okay, all right, running. Okay, Eddie, I'll check it once I'm done. So also check your cloud formation, make sure that that service account is correctly deployed. Okay, perfect. All right, so go back to your command.
Yeah, it's fine. So I will just. Yeah, so the first secret provider class got created.
All right.
Let me.
All right. So verify your deployment before you run the service.
Yeah, these both two are created, deployment and.
All right. So go in the console. Don't run the service yet. Go in the console and verify it. refresh. I don't see. Um, deployment service created. So go back to your console. So go back, select your cluster again, then select compute and select your node.
There is the next page.
Oh,
Oh.
okay, that's true. All right, click 2. That's true. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, it's there. So we
Thank
want
you,
to make
Mensa.
sure normal, scroll up. Thank you for that. I completely missed that. And okay, perfect. All right. So now you need to go and update your security group.
Yeah.
I think select it. I think sometimes it always use when you delete your cluster and recreate it, it use the same. Delete that and add row. And save.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, now run the last file.
Service. Yeah, it says it's created. Let's see. Now it's working. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Matt, sometimes when you have error in your stuff, my feedback and please pardon how I'm delivering it. My feedback is that sometimes what I say is like when you are running the commands, you rush through the commands, right?
Yeah.
So when you rush through the commands, right, you can easily make mistakes somewhere, and you didn't catch it, and that's why I'm saying that. Remember, I was saying that your service is not showing up because probably when you were running the command, there was an error somewhere that wasn't addressed, right? So you saw that this second time when we did everything over and you ran the command, the same command works, right? So
Yeah.
so that what I say is just like, and this is for everyone else, even including me. When you guys are going through when you guys are running the commands, what I expect you guys to do is if we run a command that is supposed to do something, don't run the next command. Whatever command you run, whatever that stuff is supposed to do, I want you to verify that it did that before you run the. So I don't just want, I don't know, maybe providing the command is kind of like I'm helping you guys, but I'm also hurting you guys as well, because I want you to reverse engineer the command. I don't want you guys to run the command just the way I've given it to you without you understanding what each of the commands is doing. So that's why I'm saying when you run a command, stop and check that command you ran, whatever it is supposed to do. If it is supposed to create an IAM row, verify that the IAM row is there. If it's supposed to deploy something, verify that the deployment is there. So that is part of the learning process. So I'm sorry to say.
All
So
right.
so your service is there now. You can continue. Alex, go ahead.
Yeah,
Thank you.
sorry, I was
Thank you.
just about to say, I was thinking, actually, you've actually answered some of the questions I was about to ask. I was thinking, is there like, can we just go through like a, a, like a roadmap of troubleshooting? There should be like things that we should know to go to and check when we're troubleshooting. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So when we have this kind of issues that he just had, if we have that knowledge, then we can always just go back and just do a checklist of this. Have I checked this? Have I checked that? Have I checked this? Have I done this?
Yeah. So the error he just had, that's the first time I'm seeing that error, right? And I've ran the deployment before where I've had different errors too, right? So you can't you will build your knowledge of the troubleshooting based on how many errors you've run into, and the next time you see it, you'll be able to say, okay, this error, I had this error the last time, so I know how to fix this. So that's pretty much how the troubleshooting stuff work. So
I still don't even
wait,
know what error he had, apart from him just having to rerun the whole thing all over again. I actually didn't figure out what was going wrong the first time.
so the first time he ran a service file. The service file is supposed to create a network load balancer,
Yeah,
and the network load balancer wasn't there, right?
but that's the same file that he ran again,
Exactly, right.
and it's there now.
Yes, that is probably because when he was running the command the first time, he had a typo somewhere, missed something somewhere. A
Yeah,
command didn't execute successfully, but he kept running the other commands.
yeah.
You understand? So sometimes that is the troubleshooting.
Mm.
Because even when I asked ChatGPT was saying that uh, it is looking for a tag to a subnet, right? But that doesn't make much sense. I mean, I'm not saying ChatGPT is wrong, but I've run those commands so many times, I know they work. Once you apply your service file, it should create your network load balancer. The only other thing that could have caused it was his VPC configuration. And we checked his VPC configuration, everything was fine. So based on my experience, that was why I said you have to redo everything. And I kept saying, I think when you were running the command, you missed something somewhere. And it turned out to be true. Because if it didn't work the first time and it was the commands, it shouldn't work the second time.
Yeah.
The fact that it worked the second time means that, yes, when he was running the command, it did miss something. So, but it's part of the learning process. You will build your troubleshooting roadmap is just based on and the error. Every error is different. So you can't, I mean,
Like from what I've seen, there's certain things I've noticed that there are things that you always go to. You always go to check the application load balance, the load balancer, the target groups, which the VPC. We check those things just to see, obviously we check the firewall, we check the security groups and stuff. There should be those should be like the standard things that we should go and look into,
mm-hmm,
and just make sure that they're working properly or they've been configured properly.
mm-hmm,
And then you then move on to the next step.
yeah,
Because a lot of the times, what I found out is that especially when you're running the tools like the DevOps tools, usually the problem you usually run into is just syntax or typo or something like that,
mm-hmm,
And like I said, I used to type it before, but now I just copy and paste, and I've totally gotten rid of that. That's from me learning that typing it all the time, you can make mistakes,
yeah,
you know?
exactly. So, um, yes. So you said it, most of the time when we are deploying something, and especially I can say that 95% of the issues I troubleshoot when someone is having an error, it's always like a user error. It's always like, and I still do the same thing. I'm working on a code build project and I'm seeing my running the command is not working. Then I go back, I see the mistake I've made. So it is normal, right? You would, and once for me, I've ran the commands before, I know it works. So
Mm.
what I'm trying to say is like troubleshooting, it comes with experience, right? So there is not a specific, like if you decide to start compiling a list of errors, which we do at work, like if it is a common error that can help other coworkers at your job, yes, you guys will note that down. But I'm saying that troubleshooting is it's like an ongoing list because the same error you run into today, like the error Matt had, that's the first time I'm seeing that error. And when I pasted it in ChatGPT, if I would have followed what ChatGPT was saying, we would have probably been here all day, right? Because it is saying that it can find something in the, it can't find the subnet, but the subnet is there. The route table is set up correctly. The security group is good. But from my experience, I also knew that if you missed any of the previous command that we ran to set up the dependencies in the Kubernetes cluster, it would cause that service thing to fail, which is why I said, just let's rerun it again. Yeah, so troubleshooting is an ongoing list. Yeah, so you can't, the main things you can check are those things we talked about, right? Check your VPC, make sure everything is set up, check the security groups, right? Then once we've checked that, the next thing is, okay, I think the issue is in your deployment. We even checked his EKS cluster, nothing was, it was fine. The node was fine. So at that point, the only thing I can narrow it down to is the commands it was running. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess like you said, it's all down to your experience. The more of it you do, the more you get used to it, and the more you kind of like realize, you know what, maybe this might be the issue. It's
Yeah.
with everything, The more you
Yeah.
do it, the better you get at it.
Yeah. I agree. So don't worry about the troubleshooting thing. It just comes with with time and experience. And also, if there's any particular thing, just copy the error, paste it in ChatGPT. It will give you an idea. Sometimes it will help you solve it, but in this case, even when it was saying that subnet can be found, I knew it had to be the commands. I knew. So, but yeah, troubleshooting comes with time, honestly. It does. But at work, yes, you are right. You will be taking notes of different troubleshooting errors if they are common and other coworkers are most likely to run into it, then yes, you will document it. But troubleshooting is always like an ongoing list because the same error you see today might be a different one tomorrow. Okay. All right, cool. Does anyone else have any question?
So Aziz, in addition to what you explained, you know how we were running those scripts on the command line of Ubuntu and we got stuck, we couldn't proceed. You didn't just, continue with the other command, of a thing. Rather, you decided to do research to make sure that, to correct that before you proceed. Yeah, so that was just a similar of something that is really practical, like a take home in addition to what you just explained. Because if we don't do that, we kept going, it will be too late for us to backtrack to begin to trace just that one line of command that is not working.
Exactly. You said it perfectly. That is exactly what I was trying to say earlier, which is why I always say, you guys run the commands one at a time. So that way you can verify because like, for example, when we ran, the thing about Linux is, right, when we run this command, right, these commands, they run top to bottom. You can't, it is not like some other coding thing where, like Terraform, for example, Terraform don't run top to bottom. Terraform can run the script at the bottom, apply the one at the bottom before the one. It deals with dependencies, but with Linux commands, right, they run top to bottom. So if we are supposed to have Apache here and this command fail, we can go and run systemctl to start it, because then it's going to fail, right? So which is why I said, when you guys are running a command, especially for the first time, until you have verified that this script, you've run it so many times manually and you know it works, that's the only time you are allowed to run it as a script. If you are running a script for the first time, I want you guys to run each command one at a time. So that way you can look at the output. Make sure I ran this command, the output is good, then I move on to the next one. That is how you will be able to learn the first time. But once you make the knowledge yours, then the fifth, sixth times you are running it, you can run it as a script. I don't care at that point. So yes, it is important to run the command one at a time and see the output before you move on. Because if something fails at the command at the top, it could cause the issue with the next command you are going to run. But the error you are going to get may not specifically tell you, oh yeah, the last command you run, there's an error there. Even with what I just helped Matt resolve, I still don't know which command that fails, the previous command that failed, that caused that to happen. I don't know. It could have been any of those things. So, yeah. So, do you guys have any other question?
Afiz, I got a quick question. It's not related to this though.
Okay, sure.
Or two. So I've been trying to, I've been doing an ETL project, and when I was trying to create my IAM user, I think Amazon did something different with Identity Center. So now it's like, I guess you deploy that, and then like now you can create the identity and then put them in a group and stuff like that. So I don't know if you have dealt with that as far as the cost or anything like that. Like, I wanted your take on that. And then two, when I was trying to get attach the IAM policies to the user and put it in the group, well, attach the group to the user, put the user in the group and then attach the policy to the group. I ran into a problem with QuickSight because I'm trying to give it full access, but I don't see a policy for that. So I don't know if you have ever dealt with that either. So
Well, in QuickSight,
yeah, I'm trying to give the user full access to QuickSight. So when I pull the data over, I can clean it and then I can have visual representation of it.
QuickSight cost a lot, right?
No, I didn't know that.
You
Is
know,
that another way to do it?
I had a rude awakening with QuickSight. Let me tell you what happened. This was just a couple of months ago. So we were trying to do something with QuickSight at work. So I haven't used QuickSight before. So I said, okay, let me just do QuickSight thing in my AWS account, right? So I enabled QuickSight. I signed up for it here. You know that with QuickSight, it is not pay as you go. It is a subscription. So once you enable it in your account, the next month I had like a $500 bill. And
Okay.
I didn't even use it at all.
All right. I won't do that then.
So yeah, so it is not you see here, right? You get 30 the first 30 days free. Then after that, you paying a subscription fee. Yeah,
Okay.
so I wish I don't remember my routine. I can log in, I'll show you the bill. Yes, I had like a $500 bill. So yeah, it's not pay as you go. So once you enable it, you'll be paying for it.
So, all right, I'm not going to use that then. If you were going to do something I guess it's going to be Grafana, Prometheus and Grafana.
So you're trying to get some data and visualize the data, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to do extract it, clean it, and then visualize it.
Well, yeah, just find like a third party tool. that is like an open source tool that you can use to do it. I don't know. Say I don't work with data engineering that much, so I'm not aware of the tools you can use, but I'm sure there's tools you can find that can allow you to help you visualize the data. Free ones. It would have to be like a third party tool.
Okay.
Yeah, but don't use QuickSight. They do charge you for it's a subscription fee. It is not pay as you go. And if you look, it's totally different site from AWS, your console.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So
Cool.
have you signed up for it? If you sign up, make sure you go and cancel it.
I'm messing with it now. I'm trying to put the policy in now, so I'll
Yeah.
avoid that now.
So if you've signed up for QuickSight, yeah, cancel it. Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't signed up. I was just trying to
Okay.
the policy.
But as is within the 30 days, he wouldn't pay, right?
I think so.
Yeah, so maybe you
It's,
can mess with it, but make sure you don't go over the 30 days.
that's true. So if you want, you can enable it. Make sure before the 30 days you cancel it. Yeah. But if you don't, they will charge you for it.
And while we're on the subject, is there a way to like set something up where automated shut it off that you know of? Like if you got a service running, is there a way that you can write a script that would shut it down or something like that?
Well, QuickSight?
Well, any service, particular for this.
No, so from what I found, all I did was sign up for it. I didn't do anything in it, and I got a $500 bill the next month.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand?
I get,
It wasn't like I used something in it that I didn't have any dashboard running, right?
Mhm.
All I did was enable it, and they charged me the next month. So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
So you
I
can't.
guess what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to ask is there a way in AWS that you you can you can get a service, but then you have it shut off in like 10 days, 5 days, or something like where you can shut it off before you
Oh,
get charged?
you mean? Oh, you will have to write a script to do that.
Okay.
So let's say if you have EC2 running or S3 running or S3 bucket or something like that, usually you can do that through like either a CLI command hooked to like a cron job or a Lambda function. So that you do through a script.
Okay.
I
Gotcha.
don't think AWS automatically has the each service feature that they shut down after some time. So you would have to write a script. You know that I actually thought about doing a project like that before, but I'll probably do it at some point. Um, there's so many projects I want to do.
Yeah, that'd be dope. That'd be
Yeah.
dope. I think you could sell that. That's dope. That'd be dope.
Yeah, so just writing like a Lambda function that shuts down your RDS every night or something like that, your RDS EC2 instance, whatever service you are using in your project. And yeah, so that you have to do either through Lambda function or like a script, a CLI script or something like that.
Yeah. Do you think this is a good project to add to your resume, I guess?
Oh, like data engineering project? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but well, you are aspiring to do a whole lot. So yes, data engineering project is good. We have a data engineering project, the one we did with the Python, but yes, one data engineering is good. It's good. It's a
Thanks.
good project, yeah. Um, yeah. I was gonna say something, I forgot. Okay. Yeah, so I do have so I am working on a lot of projects now, right? That I'm working on myself. And let me show you guys. So at this what is going on? Probably wants me to yeah. Because the issue I'm having is I'm working on this. I cloned this on this is my Windows computer, and I also cloned it on my Mac computer. So sometimes I have stuff update here, and I push update from my Mac, and it runs into an issue. But I'll fix it.
Yes, you gotta share. We can't see it.
Oh, I can't see. I'm sorry. I thought I was sharing my screen. Sorry, someone is calling me. Let me send them the meeting link. You can join this meeting. All right. So I have quite a few projects now. The one I'm working on, that I was working on all night is the code build. So let me show you guys. I have probably like more than 10 projects in here. So I think I want to start sharing those projects, right? So I have Docker, obviously, different apps, Python, just different script, Terraform module, and I'm working on the code build one now. I can't pull it yet, so once I'm able to pull it, I'll show you guys. Yeah, I can pull it. I need to fix the issue, then I'll be able to pull it. So what I'm thinking about doing is, so for each of this project, I'm thinking about depending on how long it takes me, we can do one project a week, one project every week, or if it takes me longer than that, then it will be every other week. But we'll be doing one project right after the other. So I want to share this project, but instead of in sharing it, I'm going to have the reference code for the project, and I'm going to cover. So for example, if I was talking about this build script, right? I'll just explain what on a high level, how the build script works. And also for each project, I'll walk you guys through how to deploy it, meaning that things you need to set up to be able to deploy it. But I'm not going to, it won't be like the projects in your account now where I'm telling you we are doing it line for line. So it'll just be like a high level. This is this project. This is what we are trying to do. These are the resource file. This is what it is going to create. And this is how you set up your environment to be able to run it, right? So we'll just think we can get through more project faster that way. So, but for you guys that are like in my mentorship thing, right, you guys will have access to it, right? But I also want to share it on YouTube but those people, they will have to like pay some subscription fee to still have access to the files, the reference file. But I feel like I can get through a lot of project this way. And at the end of each project, we'll go through something and deploy it. Then I can give you guys an assignment on deploying another one using the example. So this will force, it's going to be a little bit more advanced. So this will force you to understand a few things. So for example, if we are working on Docker, if some of the dependencies is understanding how to set up CLI on your computer, installing Docker. I will also have videos for that, how to do all those things. But I'm saying like to deploy the projects will be more on a high level where I'll be providing you a file that is already done. But I'll explain what the file is doing, then I'll show you how to deploy it on your computer. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it too.
Sounds
Yeah, that
good.
would
It
be
sounds
great.
good. I yeah, because what I'm facing right now is I'm looking for more projects to do, and I'm looking on YouTube, and I seen this one guy. He I think is a monk in cloud. He has some good projects, and he have a DevOps scope uh Prime cloud. That's what I'm working on right now. But
Mhm.
you got to deal with Jenkins and configurations, and his file is not working, and I gotta figure that on out. I've been working with that all night, but I think that'll be a good thing. I'll set some time aside to let that go. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I think that'd be a good
Okay.
project.
And I'll start with like I have this whole idea. I'll start with like the basic one. So each project will be progressive too, right? So the first project will be just what I did today, which is just deploying a static website on an EC2 instance using a script, right? Um, Writing the script, but I won't walk through the same steps. So we'll just deploy using the script. And at the end, you get an assignment. So the main thing is if you don't understand something, you can look at what I gave you and reverse engineer it to do what you need to do. So it's just another way. And I think we can cover more projects that way. And it also forces you to learn some of the things you need to learn, because at some point once you guys start working on like Terraform, CI/CD and all that stuff, at that point, I expect you guys to understand how to configure AWS CLI, how to, if your Terraform, you are getting access issue with Terraform when you try to apply it, understanding how to fix it. Just those minor things. At that point, you need to understand how to do those things. So presenting a project to you guys this way will kind of force you to learn some of the things you need to learn that
What
are
what
like basic things. Go ahead.
what about like when you do this particular when you start doing this assignment, give us a deadline that we have to do it by. I think that'll force us to do it more.
Yeah, that is
What
true.
you think?
That is true. So maybe once I post the project, then you guys, but then the thing is like people have different schedules, right?
Right.
And some people we might be on project 3 and some people are just starting, so they'll start on project 1. So so that's why the deadline will kind of like be a little bit difficult for everyone, because everyone is starting at different time and everyone has different schedule. But it would just be, so the assignment part would just be something you guys have to hold yourself to, right? So last night I was working on code build. I'm not saying you guys should be like me, because I watch my son at night. So when he's sleeping, I can do some work. So I'm not saying don't be like me, but in getting work done, you guys have to hold yourself accountable for that. So there shouldn't be anything else. So if I give you an assignment, I say you need to deploy this. So that is your responsibility to do it, because that is exactly how it is at work, right? The only difference from me giving you an assignment and at work is there's consequences at work. So the consequences tends to force us to do what we need to do. But if I give you an assignment, there's no consequence, then you might slack on it. But that's why I'm saying you have to be disciplined and hold yourself responsible, that if I give you an assignment, just think of it as if it is something they assign to you at work and you have to get it done. So I'll work on the details, and I'll start with the first project. I'll record it, I'll post it, then we'll just go from there. I have so many ideas of different projects we can do. Even the one Sean just mentioned, that's a perfect idea for a project of even writing a simple script that would run maybe every night and stop certain resources, terminate certain resources. I think that would be a good project too.
Where are you going to post it? Where's it going to be posted?
So I need to record it first.
Okay.
So I want to start as soon as possible. So the very first project will be a static website, this project, deploying the static website. Then once we are done with that, you have an assignment. Then from there, from static, we move straight on to dynamic. Then we do the dynamic. From the dynamic, we move straight on to Docker. You do the Docker to Kubernetes. Then from there, we move straight on to Terraform. And I think we can not Terraform, GitHub Actions, code build. I'm working on the code build now. Ansible. There's so many projects we can work on.
All right.
Yeah.
Please, can I throw one out there? I don't know. You tell me if it's a good one or not.
Sure.
It's actually one I'm like working on, like building it's a ETL. It's the one I'm working on currently now, where you extract the weather details and then you transform the data and then you load it into a data warehouse in like Redshift.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was going to use for the visualization, as you said, I was going to use QuickSight, but we could use something else. But
That's a good project. That's a perfect project.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I can add that one to the list too. It could be something we'll work on once we get there.
or
I'll
I mean, if I complete it, then I can
exactly.
own it if you want me to, but
Yeah,
I'm
sure,
working on it now.
sure. Yeah, so those are all the things we can work on. I really feel like we can knock a lot of projects out, and I have so many ideas for different projects we can work on. So
What's this?
hello.
Can I suggest something to you?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's something we add to your list because recently I found out that most companies are now concerned about security, especially in the CI/CD pipeline. So they are tending towards the DevSec operation side,
Mm-hmm.
where you integrate some of these security tools in a CI/CD pipeline that will scan, especially maybe for instance your Docker image,
Mm-hmm.
scan it and scan for vulnerabilities in
Mm-hmm.
Docker image and stuff. So I think it's a good thing that we can look at. We are looking for.
Okay, sure. So that we can add that to the list too. So if you guys have any project ideas too that you want us to complete, then just we'll make a list and we just I'll work on it. I'll present the files to you. And the good thing about the other project I'm working on is once I give you the file, you'll be able to deploy it in your environment perfectly. There is no dependency on my computer. I'll just in the how to deploy part, I'll show you guys what you need to change to fit your environment, and you should be able to deploy it. And I also have, and because I remember I said I work on it on my Windows and I work on it on my Mac. So I have files for Windows and I have files for Mac. So it would, for if you have a Windows computer and a Mac computer, I already work on the project, each project using both systems. So you have your own file to the respective to whatever system you are using. So yeah, so that's the idea. Because I'm thinking I need to rebrand a little bit and do something different. So because doing the project I'll still have the projects in there where I'm showing you guys line for line. So those will be there for people that are just starting out and still wants to learn. But for those of you that have complete and you need more of like an advanced type of project, yeah, we'll do it this way. All right. Do you guys have any other question? I know we're over time now. All
Wait,
right.
1 second. What's the start time again?
It's 1 p. No. Well, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. my time.
Okay,
And when you plan,
And I
when
think
you
it's like 5 p.m. your time, Alex.
right
you
now
say
it's 5:44.
And it's 1:44 at this here.
So
So you
11 would be what, 2 hours ago.
yeah. So it's like you guys are you say it's 5:44. So you guys are what 3 hours ahead or
No,
4 hours
Don't forget,
ahead. 4
Alex, you
hours.
guys are changing time. Month of at the end, I believe the end of March,
They
right?
already
yeah,
they already changed the time.
Oh, really? I thought
hmm
towards
They
the
are,
end.
they
Okay.
already did. They already did.
Okay.
yeah. The time has already gone back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you guys have
Or
changed.
gone? Is it gone forward? I get confused. Yeah, it's gone forward.
I always get confused about it. I don't know whether it's forward or back. Yeah. So, but
It's
it
gone
looks
forward
like
for the summer.
you are 4 hours ahead of us. So
Oh, okay.
yeah,
yeah, it's like you in California, my guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Um,
AC, when we gonna start doing this?
that's what I'm saying.
What
As
you
soon
know?
as possible. I will write my notes for the videos that I need to make for the first project. I'll make the videos, post it, give you guys the assignment. You guys try it out. Then once that is done, I'll just go straight to the next one. So I need to make a list of how everything is going to work. Then I just need to execute. And I think I have a better idea of recording now because my time is very limited. So
Mhm.
so I have a better idea of how I can record to get the videos out faster. So before I used to all the videos I've done, I do the voiceover while I'm actually doing the deployment. So I always run into a lot of most of the time when you say like the videos are not perfect when I am recording it. Sometimes I would say this, I'll repeat something over just to make sure that there's no error in it. So it does take me time to record that way. So this time I want to try recording the videos. So I'll work on the project and record my screen. Then I'll go back and do voiceover over it. I think that would be better.
And if there's one more quick question, you just say you can't do this or not because it's a lot. Are you planning on doing some Azure stuff eventually?
I want to. I really want to.
Okay.
So I want to. So
Cool. I know
but
it's a lot.
AWS,
I
there's
know
so
it's a
much.
lot, yeah.
So once maybe at some point, once we do as much project in AWS, then we can shift it to Azure. I started working on Azure. At least I created an account, right? But I just need to get one thing. In Azure, once I get the static website done and the dynamic website done, the rest is history. I can pick up things from there. So I need to
Yeah.
learn how to configure their VPC in Azure, set up everything, then deploy my website in it with the same architecture we use in AWS. Once I do that, don't worry about it. The rest is
Yeah.
history.
I
So
started myself too. I've been reading the fundamentals.
yeah. So that's one thing I need to do. Yeah, too. So
Hey, Aziz, I got a question.
hey, hi.
Hey, I mean, I think I'm late. You're maybe a little like way ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the dynamic web app on the using the ECR, Docker, ECR, and ECS.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, how do you establish connection between the GitHub and the Visual Studio Code?
Establish connection between GitHub and your Visual Studio Code.
Yeah, because I know when we push the codes from our
Okay.
computer to GitHub, we use the Visual Studio Code.
Mm-hmm. So Visual Studio Code is so you see I have Visual Studio Code open, right? If I open the terminal, so you can see here that it is showing PowerShell.
Okay.
So this terminal you see in Visual Studio Code is the same as if you open PowerShell.
Okay.
Right? It's the same thing, right? But with Visual Studio Code, your documents are there and you can push use a Visual Studio Code to push your code, right? So that's just the only thing. So basically what I'm trying to say is like with the same thing you can do with Visual Studio Code, you can open PowerShell and change your directory to whatever it is and do the same thing, right? So, but how you set up in that project, I already, let me show you. This is the one you're working on, right?
Yes.
So this is where I showed you how to do that, right? So in the beginning here, right? So how it works is GitHub, when you create a repository in GitHub, right? You can clone that repository on your computer.
On our computer, yes.
Right. So the next thing you have to ask yourself is, how do I clone a GitHub repository on my computer?
Yeah, I know we do that because we create a key, we generate a key pair. That's how we do it. That's why we make the connection between the GitHub and our computer, right? Okay.
Yes. We generated a key pair and we upload the public key.
Key to the GitHub, yes.
Right, exactly. Right. So once you've done that, now your Visual Studio Code will work with your GitHub automatically.
Oh, so it's like automatic. Once you create the connection between your computer and the GitHub, it pick up right away with the Visual Studio Code.
Exactly.
Okay.
So,
okay.
But yes, exactly, right? So, but the one thing you should note is once you add that SSH key, your Visual Studio Code will automatically connect to your GitHub. So let's say, so now if you create a repository, let me show you something. So I have this repository in my GitHub, right? So let me pick a different one that is not, I don't have too many. Okay, let me use this one. So I created this repository in my GitHub, right? So now to clone it, now that you've set up your SSH key, to clone it, you'll come here, you'll copy this,
and go
right?
to your PowerShell.
Then I'll open PowerShell, whatever where I want to connect, do it from. So I'll change my directory. Let me do it in my downloads. So I'll just change my directory to my downloads. Right. Then I'll do git clone. And that, right?
Yeah.
So I've cloned it, right? So if I ls in my downloads directory, I cloned the repository that I called rent zone app code. So if I cd into rent zone app code, I'm in there, right? The good thing about PowerShell is once you are in that repository you clone, you can type code space dot and press enter. It will automatically open it for you in Visual Studio Code.
Oh, okay.
Right. So because I've already connected the keys, right? Now I can push things back and forth using. So for example, if I create a file here, test.txt, right? You'll see it will show up as green.
Green, okay.
So then I can use my regular Visual Studio thing to push it, right?
Okay.
So, but the main thing is like once you set up your SSH key, whatever repository you clone from GitHub to your computer, you have to be in it to be able to push it.
Push it, yes.
So let's say you have a random file on your computer, right? You can't just randomly push that file to GitHub unless you set up the connection. You understand what I mean?
Yes, unless you create like a repository in GitHub, use the SSH key and clone it to your computer, then you can push it.
Exactly. So it's better to just start with GitHub, create your repository there. I think you can push something from local to GitHub, but I don't ever do that. So it's better to create your repository in GitHub first, clone it, then once you clone it to your computer, whatever you're doing there, you can be pushing it back and forth.
Okay. Yeah, I get all those parts. Like yesterday, I was redoing the whole project, and it come to my mind like, okay, I know we create a key pair to create connection between my computer and GitHub, and any repository I create, I have to use a SSH key as well to clone it back to my computer. But I don't see no key that we use between my computer and the Visual Studio Code, or between GitHub and Visual Studio Code. That's why I was trying to, I don't know, it was like, it's going to be automatic once you do it the first time.
I see. Yeah, so because Visual Studio Code is just a tool that allows you to be able to visualize your file.
Yeah,
right? So you see this thing is equivalent to what I'm doing in PowerShell here, but there's no way for me to see my file unless I'm type ls and all that stuff, right? So Visual Studio Code is just a tool that allows you to visualize your file, right? But then when you open its terminal, it uses PowerShell. So it's like making this much better. Yeah. So, but the connection is strictly done. If you've done the connection from your computer to GitHub, Visual Studio Code will automatically pick it up.
Okay. That was my only concern.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. KDI, yeah, sure. You can. Let me type. This is where you go. Just message me here. So you can either check out my website. You can sign up there. My website is this. Just a second. So that's my website, or you can message me here.
Where's your website? You put it on the screen because I don't see anything.
Oh no, I'm typing a message to someone that's watching online.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I can share my website here too. So KDI, this is the website for those of you that so if you go to aosnote.com and you click on courses here, this is the class that everyone is in now that they are talking to me. It is this one. So if you click on, there should be like a get started button here. If you click on this, you'll be able to sign up for it if you are interested. All right. Does anyone else have any question? Okay, cool. All right. So I'll definitely make let's speak. I'll make a list of the project. I'll map out the videos I need to record. I'll start recording them, post it, give you guys the assignment for it. Then we'll just keep going from there. All right.
And don't forget about the Azure, the other guy talked about, because I think we really like, if you can do it the same way we did the AWS, so we can have, both experience, that would be very great. Even if I know it's not going to be free. So yeah, you can add it to your website so we can.
I'll make it free. I'll make it free. So you guys don't have to pay me. If you were in my mentorship thing now, if I make the Azure course, you don't have to pay me extra for it. I'll just add it to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
AZ, can you check your email for me and tell me what you think? I had emailed you. I think that
your
was
resume, your resume
yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I was looking at it, but I'll reach out to you privately to discuss.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. But I was looking at it this morning.
All right.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Thank you, guys. So I will see you guys next week. And for those of you, if you have any question, just message me throughout the week, and we'll set up sometime.
Hey, please, can you just make sure you send me the code for the EKS and Terraform project, please?
Sure. I'll do that right away after this.
All right. Thank you.
All right. No
All
problem.
right,
Yeah.
everyone.
Thank you.
All right, Aziz.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a
All
good
right.
one.
Thank you.
All
Have a
right.
good one.
Bye.
Thank you.